Um,
Mute.
so first of all, if you, for those of you who are listening back to this, me and Steph are just hanging out here. But those of you who are listening to this recording after the fact, just a few things to point out for this week, and kind of some new things that have come up recently. The 3-day refresh and Shanti Week group is coming up soon. So if you want more information about that, shoot me a message or comment somewhere on the page or something, and I will get that information to you if you're still interested in that. I sent out messages about that today. But that is like kind of the big new thing. There is the ongoing push to 200 coaches added to Dream Big. So as you're adding coaches, make sure that you are adding your name and that information about your coaches that you're adding to that post on the Dream Big page that Kristen made. You might have to scroll around for that, but there's that post there to make sure that you get your credit for those prizes that are coming up for those different tiers. And kind of in conjunction with that is I was looking through some of my information that I kind of started out with and wanted to refresh and recheck and make sure, in the spirit of kind of checking myself and making sure that I'm doing the right thing at the right time and kind of that where you kind of periodically do a check and making sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. Hi, Ash. In the spirit of that, I went back and I was checking some checklists and some things that I kind of got as a new coach and things that maybe I was focusing on before and let slip a little bit and realize that, some of those things that are things that I want to go back and kind of refine as far as my systems and ways that I do things. But some things where it was kind of nice to look back and be like, oh, I think I'm actually kind of doing this right, whether I was intending to or not. I think that just really means that I had a lot of some good leadership. But I was looking through some old stuff, and as we are building our team and as you are adding new coaches under you, I want to make sure that y'all know what you're doing, and that kind of to get your new coaches started right, whether they are discount coaches or if you want to use the term preferred customer, whatever you want to call it, or if they are going to be actively coaching and running challenge groups with you and building a business. Discount coaches, business builders, anywhere in between. When you add coaches and when you add people to our team, we want to make sure that they not only are they getting the right start to our team and getting the right start to help them be as successful as possible. But we also want to make sure that we ourselves are being duplicatable on down the line. So like the way that I was welcomed into the team and the way that Kristen kind of got me started is what I wanted to pass on to y'all as y'all were getting started. And then now y'all are passing that on to your coaches. So whether you are in a position right now where you are adding coaches under you or you're not yet, this is definitely something that you need to kind of either be implementing right now with the team that you're building under you, or just put in your back pocket for later, because this will be, if you're a business builder and if this is something that is in your head to move forward with, that's something that you need to be thinking of, just so we can make sure that we get a team under us that is quality over quantity, right? And make sure that they get a good start. So getting your new coaches started. If you, as you sign up new coaches, yay, congratulations, yay. I'm all about a checklist. Once I get that coach signed up, what do I do now? Okay, so the first thing that that you need to do, obviously, if they are interested in coaching and you have sent them that information and given them all of the information and maybe sent them the Kristen's videos or maybe that backstage pass video or anything like that, then part of those step-by-step sign-up sheet that I have given y'all, and that it is also in the Dream Big back office, the Dream Big files in the Google Drive, that step-by-step sign up is part of that, like whether they are signing up with a challenge pack, with just Shakeology, or if they're just signing up and they already have all of that set, that kind of thing. So that's the first step, is to get them signed up in the way that they need to get signed up. Also sending them the link if they have gotten a challenge pack in the past, sending them the link to make sure that they get that their fee waived, their startup fee waived and reimbursed. And also if they're military, that they get that military waiver going. So there's obviously there's the form that you fill out and send for your previous challenge pack purchase. And then as a military waiver, that is one per household. That's something to keep in mind, one per household. I think everyone that is military has had that experience a little bit, darn, but hey, we'll take what we can get, right? So if that military waiver is the case, then making sure that they send in either their or their spouse's leave an earnings statement, LES, the most current one, to the coach relations email. So getting them signed up, getting those things taken care of, first step. Second step, make sure that you welcome them to our team page. Now, if that's, yeah, go ahead. Did you have a question, Steph?
Is that just active military?
So that is, okay. Active military independence, and also veterans like themselves can get in. So does that make sense? So not from what I understand, and it feels like it kind of changes. I know it doesn't, but it feels like it does. And I will post the FAQ to that the military waiver, the FAQ. That is very helpful to have, just kind of knowledge. And I feel like it changes even though it doesn't. I feel like I can't keep it straight just because that's how my brain works. But it, it never fails that the time that, like, I think I got it straight in my brain, then somebody will be like, wait a minute, I'm a reservist, and and how does that work? So I will make sure that to get that FAQ posted in the comments under this recording. So you'll have that. Because sometimes it's kind of hard to find for some reason, like when you search for it, it might be kind of difficult. So after you get them signed up and get those waivers and forms taken care of, giving them a really sweet, awesome, warm welcome to our teams. Just like I did for y'all, I put you in the Dream Big because team page and also our team page, because I like for y'all to have all of the information from Kristen, just in case imperfect me let something slip through the cracks. I want to make sure that y'all get all of that, and that you get you and they and any consecutive people that you sign up. I want to make sure that we all have that that community and that rich resource of all of the answers and all of the different people. And that's when we have the best teamwork, is when we're all kind of sharing and from all the different backgrounds that we have. That is really amazing. So make sure you're getting them their welcome. Doesn't have to be fancy, but it's nice to, see your picture and a welcome and that kind of thing. And then make sure you're messaging them or sending them a text or that kind of stuff, that you're scheduling your first kind of getting started right call, just to get them their their goals straight out the bag. What do you want to do? Are you just wanting it for the discount, or do you want to maybe see this become more of a business for you? Because then that will dictate where you go from there. Whether you, I like to send, this is step 3, I like to send the welcome letter to our team that, I kind of compiled Dream Big and Boundless together. I like to send that welcome letter, even if they're a discount coach. I like to send that to them, because I just say, hey, if this is something that you might think later about building a business with, or maybe having some people come alongside you and making that, possible for you to cover your Shakeology order, I want you to have all of this information so you can go from there. And in that letter, obviously there's Kristen's, I think now it's an 8-day training. I always call it a 7-day training, but I'm pretty sure that it's that last day there's an 8th day. So So that welcome letter has the link to that training in her website, which is really, really a great resource. So make sure that they know that. So that's the third step, is getting them that welcome letter, and making sure during that little call that you have with them after you welcome them to the team, just letting them know, hey, these are the different types of coaching. Where do you think you fit in that, and how can I help you, meet your goals and what success means to you. So that's the third step. The fourth step is if they are, so this kind of is, and this is kind of where it breaks into, okay, if you have like a business builder, we're going to keep going. But if you have kind of a preferred customer or a discount coach, then that's kind of where, I don't want to say that's where it stops, because I still check in weekly or, every other week with my discount coaches, just as if they were coaches / maybe on the challenger side, if that makes any sense. So that I continue to keep up with them that way. But if they are the discount coach, that's kind of where I'm like, okay, here's this information. I want to make sure you have that for future reference. Maybe if you want to go ahead and do that 7 to 8 day training on your own steam, that would be awesome. Go ahead and take a look at that, go through it, whatever that would be comfortable for you. And if you have any questions, let me know. And but just so you know, right now, really the only thing that you need to worry about is just enjoying your discount, and I'll support you in your journey until you're ready to take it to a different level. As they're going along in their training, I like to have a periodical check-in time, like maybe around day 3, and then definitely just because that's kind of a halfway, day 3, day 4, and then at the end when they're done with the training. And I kind of stress that, you can take it one day at a time, you can do 2 days at a time and go through it really fast, or you can kind of go through it at your own pace. But when you're done with day 3, day 4, and then when you're done with the training completely, go ahead and check back with me, and we'll do a recap and make sure that you have all your questions answered. So once they're done with all that training and they have all of that information kind of in their back pocket, then kind of the next step is to help them craft that open for business post, is what we like to call it, whenever you kind of let people know, hey, you put out your sign, we are open, I'm here to help you, this is my journey, kind of your coach announcement post, if you will, kind of, and that is covered, I can't remember which day it is in the training, but that is covered in the new coach training on Kristen's website. So there's that step. And then the next step is to ensure that they are in a challenge group to continue or to create their transformation story, because that is where a lot of the, where that trust is starting to build with them and their future challengers and future coaches. And also, just talking about setting goals and sharing that with people and asking people to come alongside you with that. Next step is to get started with some personal development. That is a really huge deal, especially for a new coach. It's easy to get overwhelmed with all of the other trainings and things that we have, and really to keep a mindset of keeping this simple, and I'm just developing myself, growing myself, and inviting people to come alongside me. The more you can keep that focus, the better. And personal development and just instilling that belief in yourself it goes a long way towards that. So there's a couple of like starter personal developments that I like to suggest. Compound effect and slide edge are always some of my favorites to start out with. There's also first steps to wealth. There's, what was the other one? You Are a Badass. That's the one that I finished, and it's a great like marketing book, and just getting over yourself. Get Over Your Damn Self is another good one, kind of along those same lines. If you can get over those things, and then there's How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business, and The Energy Bus is also another good book for personal development when you first start out. Let me see. And I think Okay, that was for, I can't remember. I don't know what step we're on. 7. So once you have introduced them to the personal development aspect, that kind of feeds into the vital behaviors and just kind of making sure that they are, following a program, that they're drinking their Shakeology, letting them know that that's important, and how that helps with their transformation story and creating that or continuing that, and that personal development factors into that as well. Next step, making sure they're plugging into those any webinars we do, those our team calls, national wake up calls, that goes along with personal development as well. And then letting them know about how they can be plugged into a challenge group. If they're wanting to just be a challenger right now, that's great. That's a great way to start. Honestly, if you have a brand new coach that's never been a challenger before, then that's probably where they need to start, because you can't be a challenger. You can't lead a challenge group until you know what it's like to be a challenger. So making sure that they're plugged into a group like that, and also if they have been a challenger in the past, to help you out, and kind of that apprenticeship kind of program that goes along, and letting them fit in the way that they're comfortable, in a way that kind of speaks to their giftings, posting food journals or posting motivational quotes periodically during the group, or extra recipes, or shout outs. Like Ash did a great job with shout outs, and I know that's something that kind of speaks to you. So those kind of things, and those things that you're good at, and those things that are giftings towards you, then that's something that they can help out with in the group, and kind of give them a little bit of ownership in that. Celebrating small victories. One of the vital behaviors is recognition. So as you're building your team, and as you're coaching, and as you're building coaches under you, giving those little shout outs and those little nudges. And maybe you have to, depending on which gym they are, it might look different for different people, whether that's if you're into gifts, like little gifts and little things that, like, as they find milestones, and as they go that way, or as they're just doing really great posts, making sure that you're doing little shout outs in our team pages, and but really just involving them in that team culture, and helping them those little small victories along the way. So those are kind of some good steps to kind of start someone well. Make sure that if you have any questions, and if you don't know like what someone needs, like I'm here always to kind of help with that. I trust y'all completely, and I mean y'all are great leaders already, and so it's not like I think that this is something that y'all like need coaching on or anything like that, but it's one of those things that's like, it's nice to just know that there's a kind of a system in place, and to kind of make sure that it always makes me feel better when I know that I'm doing what I can to help somebody get a good start. And then later on, it's up to them. Once they have all of the tools, it's up to them, and you can't, like we've talked about, right? You can't want it so bad for someone else that it just happens, because that doesn't work. So I'm trying to think, checking up on coaches and checking up on challengers. That's something that I like to do, like I said, every week or every other week. And that goes a long way. So I'm sorry that was kind of a little bit like scattered. That I hope that you kind of got a little bit of like a checklist kind of thing going on. I actually have a document that's I can tweak to make it look, it's something that like it's not exactly like what I do, so I can tweak that, and I can post that as well as kind of a tool, if that would be helpful. So does anyone have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Or anything other than maybe not adding coaches, but just anything. Good. Cool. How are invites going?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay, I'm making strawberry. Hang on. Go over there. Just 1 second. Sorry. She's like, peanut butter and jelly now.
Right now.
What? When it comes to recording like videos, like when you're doing a workout, is it best to keep them like short, little bitty ones? Like I recorded like the whole first round of 22-minute hardcore today.
Yeah.
And I was going to post it, but then I was like, that's giving away a lot of the workout. And so,
I don't know that I would worry about necessarily giving anything away, but just think about like holding someone's attention.
Right, for 12 minutes.
Yeah. I would say maybe like pick your favorite move and do like a minute of it.
All right, okay. That's what I had been doing. I just didn't know. I posted one on that little group that I ran.
Yeah.
It was the core. I had to modify like crazy, but I've had people that have been messaging me about I can't do these workouts. I have to modify, and I'm like, I have to modify. So I was like, what did I do?
Sometimes I modify the modifier.
Right. Like, I have to put my knees down and prepare for pull-ups.
Sometimes what I like to do, do you use iMovie?
What?
Oh, you don't have an iPhone though.
Do what? Oh, no.
Okay. Well, I know that Kristen and I just recently discovered, so if you do have an iPhone, I discovered iMovie, and that's how I made that, where it's not super fast, but it's like sped up a little bit enough to where it's like a 12-minute can be condensed down to, like 2 or something.
Okay.
And it's funny too, because it's like the chipmunk voice.
That's so funny.
We'll have to try that.
Right.
And the kids like it too.
Right. The kids watch you doing that.
Yep. Or if you can get them in there too, it's like even funnier. So,
I know that.
that's a good question. And I like that. I think that's a good idea to like, just still shots, like videos and still shots, together, like pictures and videos together. Or you can do the pick play post is a great one where you can put video and pictures together. You've done that before, so.
Okay, right. I had to download it from my phone. I have people that come to me that are, I don't think realize how hard it is. Like you have to put the effort to get results.
Yeah.
You have to push. You have to work out.
And just because it's hard doesn't mean it's bad.
Right.
That's good.
Okay. Screw me. Does anyone else want to eat all their peanut butter allotment in one sitting? Because I do.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, babies.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Did you have any questions, Ash?
I don't think so.
Hey, I'm so glad you were on.
I know. I looked at the clock and I was like, I can make it on.
I can do it. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say bye-bye then, and I'm going to go get ready. I'm going to be on at 8:15 on the Getting Started Right call. So that is where I will be. If you can tune in, if not, great. And we'll see you around. I hope.
Okay, I do have one quick. Yeah, I do have one quick thing. So I had a person ask me what I was drinking, and so I was going to take them to my. Do you take them to like a way to order it to give information, or how would you go about that?
If someone's just asking.
Yeah. Would you?
And is it did they like ask on a post?
They IM'd me and said, "Hey, what are you drinking? Are you drinking Spark?"
No, not drinking Spark. What I would do is there's kind of some, I don't know what it's like, your elevator speech. Like it's just a real quick, because you don't want to like information. This is something that I learned very quickly because I am very, very, very apt to give a whole lot of information way too quickly. So just be like, I would say something like, hey, I've been drinking this awesome, super nutritious shake for X amount of time. And it gives me great energy and it gives me all my nutrition that I need when I can't really pay attention to what I'm eating. Or I don't do a great job of paying attention to what I'm eating. Would you like more information about it?
Okay. They're talking about the Energize that they've seen me.
Oh, okay. So yeah. And so, yeah, I would do something like just real short and kind of like, just like what it does for you. Would you like more information?
Okay.
And then if they say yeah, then you can just tell them what it does. I mean, go to Team Beachbody and like find a little blurb about it and kind of.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah. I'm learning to stop and really think about my answers.
And ask lots of questions.
Yes.
Yep.
I think that's helpful.
Yeah. Because then you're showing them that it's like not so much about like, here, let me like show you all that I know. It's like, how can this be helpful to you? And let me see. And you're getting more information. And so later on, it's easier to help them because you're like, oh, well, because I asked this question, now I know this about you. Or do you drink anything for energy? Like you can ask that. Like, do you drink anything for energy? How often do you? Like, that's part of the little invite 101 is, what do you drink for energy? Do you drink energy drinks? Do you drink coffee? Is that something that you feel like is lacking from your day? Or, those kind of things. Those kind of things. So that's what I would do. Constantly reminding myself to slow down and ask me.
Yes. I'm definitely finding that and learning the invite to actually use that.
You're doing so good. You're doing so good.
We'll see.
You are.
Becca was over today and watching me drink my shake, and she's like, I need to get on the shakes again. So you never know.
Awesome.
No.
I remember that when you were like, I'm not going to tell her about anything until she knows. That's so good, girl. But look what you're doing.
No.
She's
my neighbor.
I love it. I can't wait. We're going to have a party when she signs up because
my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, if y'all have any questions, don't hesitate and we'll cover those. And if you all ever think of anything that you would like covered in a call like this, like information that I can kind of go a little bit more in depth in, then please don't hesitate and use the group because it's yours. Like y'all can post as much as you want. So.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, ladies. Have a good night.